Alright guys, it's that time of the week again and we are back for some more Championship transfer rumours. As always, we've got plenty to discuss today. Let's not mess about and jump straight in. Derby County have completed the signing of Crystal Palace youngster David Ozzo on a season-long loan. Did make 9 appearances for Crystal Palace in the Premier League last season, all 9 of those appearances coming from the bench. He's a 19-year-old midfielder. Makes sense that this is the next stage in his development. I'm looking forward to seeing more of him. The Championship icon that is Albert Adoma has joined Walsall after a successful trial with the club. He was obviously let go by QPR at the end of last season. Hull City have picked up Cody Drammer on a free transfer. That could turn out to be a really nice bit of business there by the Tigers. The fullback was offered a new contract by Leeds United. He rejected that in favour of looking to play first team football elsewhere, and Hull City could be the benefactors of this deal. We've obviously seen him out on loan in the Championship a fair few times now. He's had loan spells with Cardiff, Luton and Birmingham. Still just 22 years old. Leeds obviously saw the value in him in offering him a new contract, but that could turn out to be a nice deal there for Hull, especially on a free transfer. Swansea City have signed Burnley goalkeeper Lawrence Vigouroux for an undisclosed fee. Now, Swansea have been chasing goalkeepers all summer long. There have been quite a few transfer rumours linking them with different shot stoppers, but they finally managed to get a deal over the line. 30-year-old goalkeeper who's probably best known from his stint previously with Leyton Orient. He was a backup goalkeeper for Burnley last season, but didn't make a single appearance for the club. Luke Williams has said that he will have the chance at Swansea to establish himself as their new number one, so intrigued to see how he gets on. Former Preston attacking midfielder Ben Woodburn has joined Salford City on a free transfer after he was let go by North End. I think that's probably the right thing for his career. The last few seasons hasn't really been up to the standard at Championship level, but dropping down the divisions could suit him. We've seen former Norwich City fullback Dimitrios Giannoulis signing for Augsburg in Germany. We saw Millwall snapping up goalkeeper Liam Roberts upon his contract at Middlesbrough expiring. He obviously spent last season on loan with Barnsley in League One, where he was their number one goalkeeper. Of course, following the tragic passing of Matthias Sarkic, this was a position that Millwall needed to patch up. Roberts is the second goalkeeper they've signed this summer, along with Lucas Jensen, who came in earlier in the window. But guys, there you have it. That will wrap it up for the done deals. Now, without any further ado, let's jump into some rumours. We'll start out with the Jack Clarke news, as this is one of the biggest stories going around the Championship right now. Ipswich Town are seriously interested in the Sunderland winger, and for good reason. We know that Ipswich are looking to add another player in this department. They tried their hardest to get Jayden Philogene, but in the end he ended up going to Aston Villa, and seems like Clarke is their backup target. It's been reported that the Tractor Boys are going to go in with an opening offer of around about 18 million for Sunderland's prized asset, although other sources have claimed that with add-ons and everything involved in the package, the overall deal could be taken to around 25 million. Sunderland in a decent negotiating spot with Clarke. He's still under contract with the club until 2026. Obviously, he was by far and away their best performer last season. Their form absolutely fell off a cliff in the second half of the season when he was out injured. And when you're putting up the sort of numbers that Clarke was last season in the Championship, you're always going to get your Premier League admirers. Ipswich, I think, will push hard for that deal. I'm interested to see how Sunderland play that one. Speaking of Sunderland and signing wingers though, Ian Poveda is on his way to the Stadium of Light, and by the time you guys are watching this deal might have already been officially confirmed. We've already seen the leaked pictures of Poveda holding up the Sunderland scarf, and by all accounts looks as if this deal is now over the line. He will be signing for Sunderland on a free transfer after his contract at Leeds United ran out in the summer. Plenty of Championship clubs were chasing the signature of Poveda. Obviously, Sheffield Wednesday fans were hoping that they would be able to strike a deal after how much they enjoyed watching him play while he was on loan at Hillsborough last season. But it does appear as if the Black Cats have won the race for the winger, and on a free transfer. That's another decent bit of business there for Sunderland, signing the likes of Poveda and Alan Brown, both on free transfers. You can't really complain at that. We also spoke about Alexandra Mendy on last time's video, but it appears as if this deal is even closer to completion as well, with the 30-year-old forward reportedly having a medical booked in at the Stadium of Light in the coming days. He scored 22 goals in the French second division last season. Last time around in the Championship, Sunderland badly lacked a centre forward. Hopefully he can be their guy. Also looks as if Harrison Burrows is on his way to Sheffield United, with a medical now booked in for the 22-year-old wing-back, coming off the back of an excellent season with Peterborough, where he got 21 goal contributions in League One from that wing-back role. Really excited to see him in the Championship Championship next season. A full package being agreed of around about £3 million between Peterborough and Sheffield United. There was a little bit of drama going around yesterday with some reports stating that Leeds United could look to come in and hijack this move, but that no longer looks to be the case, and it does look like Burrows will be signing for the Blades. We've discussed Ollie McBurney quite a few times on the channel this summer, but the former Sheffield United striker won't be staying in the Championship, and he won't even be staying in England. Instead, he's heading off to Spain to sign for Las Palmas. Upon his contract running out at Sheffield United, quite a few Championship clubs did express an interest in the Scottish forward, Stoke City among those interested. But according to Fabrizio Romano, he's set for a medical in La Liga instead. Stoke City midfielder Walter Berger continues to be linked with the Premier League, with Spurs still interested in the midfielder. It was reported earlier this summer that the Premier League club were keen on the Dutch star, and over these past few days that interest has seemingly resurfaced. Now Steven Schumacher, the Stoke boss, has spoken on some of these rumours. He's sort of reaffirmed how important Berger is to the team and saying that he is a player who he wants to look to build his team around. But who knows, money does talk in the Championship. Berger is still under contract at the Bet365 Stadium until 2027, which does put Stoke in a decent bargaining position here. But if Spurs are to submit an official bid, things could get interesting. Some very good news for Oxford United fans, because it looks as if Cameron Brannigan is set to sign a new 3-year deal with the club. He had been the subject of a bit of interest this summer. I'd seen the likes of Blackburn and West Brom link with him. In years gone by, while Oxford were playing in League One, he was consistently a player that was being linked with the Championship. I remember Blackpool especially were really interested in him one year while they were in the Championship, but Brannigan always remained loyal to Oxford United, and with a new 3-year deal on the table, you can't have any complaints about that. Derby County still seem confident of landing a deal for goalkeeper Jacob Zetterstrom. However, there has been a bit of a hold-up in this deal being completed. The club that Zetterstrom currently plays for are competing in the Europa Conference League tomorrow. They've got a qualifying game for that, and it seems plausible that his club at the moment want to keep him around before they have officially qualified for that competition, which could potentially hold up this transfer for a couple of weeks, which isn't exactly ideal from Derby's point of view, as they'll be keen to prepare for the new season with all the players in as soon as possible. Obviously, Leicester City's Daniel Iverson, another target for Derby, who has been linked with the club throughout the summer as well. However, there's been a bit of a snag in their interest in him as well. Zetterstrom does seem to be their number one target, and it would appear as if Derby and Leicester are quite a way away from each other when it comes to the value of Iverson, who's now only got 1 year left in his contract with Leicester. It's understandable that Norwich City are on the hunt for a new left back, but it would appear as if the club have been unsuccessful in their first attempt to sign Wolves fullback Hugo Bueno. Reportedly, Norwich went in with a loan offer for the Wolves left back, but that offer has been knocked back by the Premier League club. We'll wait and see if Norwich go in with another offer or if they move on to a new target. Sheffield United are reportedly interested in a loan deal for Nottingham Forest winger Josh Bowler. Bowler not had the best of times over these last couple of years, really, has he? He had that really good season with Blackpool in the Championship, but since he was picked up by Forest, his career has sort of just been meandering a little bit. He's not really established himself as a top player at any of the clubs he's been loaned out to. He obviously spent last season on loan with Cardiff. Definitely had flashes of quality, but was nowhere near the sort of player that he looked at Blackpool initially. With that being said, there is still a very good Championship player in there with Josh Bowler, and if you do get him back to his usual self, back full of confidence, then who knows what Chris Wilder could potentially get out of him. Definitely looks like Sheffield United are going for a bit of a system change this season, though, in the Championship. They've been linked with quite a few wingers during this transfer window so far. Liam Miller, another target from earlier in the window. So it'll be interesting to see just how hard Sheffield United push for that one. We've spoken previously about Jonathan Varane and QPR's interest in the French midfielder. It's since been reported that QPR have had a bid rejected for him. The bid believed to be worth around 1.2 million. It's thought that Varane is a top target for Martí Cifuentes, but after having their initial bid turned down, it'll be interesting to see if they go in with another offer or move on to another target. A few other clubs clubs have been sniffing around the 22-year-old. Norwich City, another club who have been linked, as well as some other sides from across Europe as well. It looks as if Chelsea defender Alfie Gilchrist will be loaned out to somewhere in the Championship this week, and plenty of clubs are battling for a signature right now. Earlier in the transfer window, you had the likes of Leeds United and Blackburn Rovers, who both made inquiries for the Chelsea defender. But more recently, there's been the likes of Millwall, Sheffield United and my team Preston North End, who are also battling it out for the young Chelsea star on loan. He's not been involved in Chelsea's squad, heading to the United States for their pre-season tour, which would hint at a certain sense of urgency that he will be loaned out. He made 17 appearances for Chelsea last season. I think he'd be a really good pickup for any Championship side. Former Everton midfielder Isaac Price has been linked with a move to West Brom. Now, it's interesting that the Baggies are looking to strengthen this department. It does seem more than likely that Okay Yokoshlu will be leaving this summer. We've spoken about him quite a bit on the channel recently and his links to Turkey. Price would certainly be an interesting replacement. He only joined Standard Liège last summer, and the 20-year-old midfielder is under contract in Belgium until 2027 as well. He was sort of in and out of that first team last season, made 18 starts in the league and 10 appearances off the bench. The going rate for a player like Price, reportedly just under £2 million. My club Preston North End, another side who has been credited with interest as well. Well guys, there you have it. That will now wrap it up for today's video. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you did go on to enjoy, make sure to leave a like. Any other rumours that you've seen going around the Championship, make sure to drop them in the comments down below. But apart from that, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.